Hey, Spencer, obviously at the national championship game last season, you're injured. For you personally, what does it mean to be back in this spot and healthy, and how hard was it to watch the championship game last season?
Yeah, I mean, these are games that you dream of playing in, and being sidelined last year and just having to watch all your teammates kind of go out there and play in it, it was kind of hard just to kind of sit back knowing that, you weren't going to be able to go out there and help them. And then just now kind of looking full circle on things to be back in this position this year, healthy, and, it's just kind of another dream come true.
And what's it been like? You've been healthy, but to see other teammates go down, and could you kind of, I don't know, sympathize with them with what you went through last year, and how has that been? Have you kind of tried to help other teammates who've had injuries throughout the season, deal with some of that stuff?
Yeah, it's something that I didn't realize how much it can take on you mentally until I got hurt. So I think seeing the guys that get banged up this year and kind of have, season enders, I really feel for them. And, I try and talk to them and give them advice that I can from when I went through it, and just kind of things to stay positive on, and, to kind of keep looking ahead, and the small incremental gains that just to kind of keep you going. I know with my knee, for me, it was, each day I can move it so many degrees further in my range of motion. And, I would set goals, and when I'd hit those, it would, be awesome, and I'd feel great about it. So just like trying to give guys like things like that to help them look forward to something and keep their heads up.
And finally, has it made you appreciate this season and this run to the championship game more?
Oh, absolutely, especially with it just being my senior season.
Thank you.
Zach McKinnell.
Appreciate your time, Spencer. A lot of athletes talk about how hard it is to come back from injuries and keep the success that they had before the injury. You put together an All-American season this year. Talk about what that means to you and all the work that went in behind the scenes to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me. It was something that, I dreamed of being able to do, and obviously there was some doubt in my mind coming off a knee injury that, what kind of player was I going to be, what kind of, things were I going to still be able to do well, what things weren't I going to be able to do as well. So just to kind of see all the, hard days of rehab when you never thought that you could get back to being the player you were, and kind of just see that all come full circle now has been pretty cool.
And you get another matchup with one of the better offensive lines in the FCS. Talk about, does it motivate you to see all the awards that offensive line is getting, and does it kind of help you raise your game to the next level, knowing it's going to be best on best when you get to Frisco?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you always want to play the best competition out there, and and that's what for sure is going on in this championship game. I mean, their O-line across the board is really talented. I know the left side of their line especially. I think they're both All-Americans on that side, and so anytime you get a chance to play against guys of that caliber is pretty cool.
Thank you, Spencer. Good luck.
Thank you.
Luciano?
Hey, Spencer, I hope you're doing well, and thanks for your time. Going back to that last question, how much of an advantage do you think it gives you to have already played them in their regular season against such a tough offensive line?
It definitely helps. You got to see them in person, get a feel for them. And, you kind of got to go back and, study the film more. You see things that, you didn't do as well, and things that, you should have did differently. So just having that experience against them already once is a huge help.
Great, thanks.
Craig Haley.
Spencer, thank you for the time. Does your program feel like an underdog in this matchup?
I mean, it kind of looks that way. I mean, we weren't one of the top seeds this year, and losing to SDSU earlier in the season, I mean, almost kind of got to be the underdogs in this one.
And when you think of that, what goes through your mind?
I mean, it's motivation, like always. I mean, just whether we both could have been 1-2 seed or whatever it could have been. And, I mean, guys have been motivated to play this game no matter what it was.
What's good and what's bad about being so familiar with an opponent as opposed to playing somebody new?
Well, when you play someone new, it's one of those things, they don't really know what you do well, and you don't know necessarily what they do well either. When it's someone that you're as familiar with as us and SDSU are, we know what each other like to do, and it's just going to add to more wrinkles of, okay, what are they going to throw at us that we haven't seen yet?
Thank you, Spencer. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Mike McFeely.
Spencer, because you guys are so familiar with South Dakota State and they're your big rivals, are you worried as a veteran guy that there might be too much emotion before the game? Is that possible? I mean, you've got the national championship got all that going on. Plus, it's the team that you want to beat more than any other. I mean, could you be too amped up as a team, and is that a concern?
I mean, I think so. Just from the fact that guys get too excited and they want to be the one that go makes plays in the national championship game and really try and make the big plays that help us win a game. And sometimes that can lead to guys not necessarily doing their job. So it's something that you almost got to treat it like every other game. Like, guys, everyone's just got to go out there, do your job on the play, and things will turn out okay. What
do you see when you see Tucker Kraft on film the last couple weeks?
Really good run blocker, really good pass catcher. They try and get him the ball a lot of different ways, and it's going to be a good challenge for our defense.
You've been with North Dakota State for about 15 years now, it seems like. What do you think it must be like for a transfer to come in and try to get in 1 season or 2 seasons? Have you seen some challenges from some of the kids that have come into NDSU, and how difficult might that be?
Yeah, I know I lived with 2 transfers last year, and they would talk about how it was at their old school compared to how it is here, and just kind of how different we do things here, and things that we emphasize more than what they did at their old school. So it's kind of cool just to hear that from from the different side of things, from a guy that only knows how NDSU does things. They've said that there's been things that have been a good challenge for them.
Who was that? Was it Braden and somebody else? Who'd you live with?
Braden Thomas and Michael Beto.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Jeff Kolpak.
Hey, Spencer, describe the organized structure of these 3 weeks leading to the playoff or leading to the title game. Obviously, it seems like there's a method to the madness here.
Yeah, so good old winter camp. It's basically just a glorified fall camp for us. Practices obviously aren't as long, aren't as hard, but a lot of mental work goes into it. And then Coach Kramer, between different lifts and runs that we'll do just to kind of stay in shape more, just 3 weeks without a game, and then having the 5 days off or whatever it was over Christmas break. So it's definitely a different schedule for us, but it's something that everyone on the team has done now, at least a couple times. So it's something we're used to.
Jim Kramer's been here since 2003. Does he obviously have a huge impact on these 3 weeks?
Oh, absolutely. From us old guys, but even more with the young guys, he gets 3 more weeks of them in the weight room, in their developmental lift, and just keeping them guys along. And then even when we get to practice with them, the more practice reps those guys get.
You lost a couple NFL prospects along the way, and Hunter and Noah. What's that been like?
It's sad. You never want to see a guy get hurt, especially when I've been on the end of being hurt. So you feel bad for it, especially a guy like Noah Gindorf, who gets hurt last year, decides to come back for his 6th year, and then you have to see him get hurt again and his season be ended. So, you feel for guys like that, and you just wish they could play.
Okay, thanks.
We'll take one more question for Spencer Waege. Zach Borg, go ahead, please.
Spencer, obviously you're a South Dakota kid. What did you remember of this rivalry growing up, and just what does this mean to you? Obviously there'll be a pretty big rooting section in Watertown, but the rest of your state, you're kind of wearing the black hat for this one.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I don't know if you want to say I was a huge SDSU fan, but I remember going to some of their games and, hearing the, chatter with how big of a rivalry it was with NDSU, and, didn't quite fully understand it probably at that time until really I came up here. But yeah, it's been exciting because there's people, when I was back home for Christmas, they were telling me, we're not NDSU fans, we're 99 fans. And so just kind of the support coming from Jackrabbit fans still, but it's been incredible.
Thank you.
We'll take one more question from Dom Izzo. Dom, go ahead.
Spence, sorry to keep you so long, man. I know you and I have chatted so often about tickets requests when they've played and when you've gone down there the last time you played in 2019. What is this 3 weeks been like, and what's the family member allotment for Frisco here in a couple weeks?
So I had to get 15 tickets for family members, but I know there's a bunch more family and friends that are coming, just ended up getting tickets through SDSU. So I don't know what the exact total number is, but it's up there.
Seems fitting that it's the Jacks, your last game in Frisco, and South Dakota State.
Yeah, Storybook ending writing itself right here. So, I won't want it any other way.